Now, Mr. Rogers is certainly one of the best things that's ever happened to public television, and his Peabody Award is testament to that fact. We in public television are proud of Fred Rogers, and I'm proud to present Mr. Rogers to you now. Fred.
All right, Rogers, you got the floor.
Senator Pastore, this is a philosophical statement and would take about 10 minutes to read, so I'll not do that. One of the first things that a child learns in a healthy family is trust, and I trust what you have said that you will read this. It's very important to me. I care deeply about children. My first children...
Will it make you happy if you read it?
I'd just like to talk about it, if it's all right.
Sir. Okay.
My first children's program was on WQED 15 years ago, and its budget was $30. Now, with the help of the Sears Roebuck Foundation and National Educational Television, as well as all of the affiliated stations, each station pays to show our program. It's a unique kind of funding in educational television. With this help, now our program has a budget of $6,000. It may sound like quite a difference, but $6,000 pays for less than 2 minutes of cartoons, 2 minutes of animated, what I sometimes say, bombardment. I'm very much concerned, as I know you are, about what's being delivered to our children in this country. And I've worked in the field of child development for 6 years now, trying to understand the inner needs of children. We deal with such things as the inner drama of childhood. We don't have to bop somebody over the head to make him to make drama on the screen. We deal with such things as getting a haircut, or the feelings about brothers and sisters, and the kind of anger that arises in simple family situations. And we speak to it constructively.
How long a program is it?
It's a half hour every day. Most channels schedule it in the noontime as well as in the evening. WETA here has scheduled it in the late afternoon.
Could we get a copy of this so that we can see it? Maybe not today, but I'd like to see the program.
I'd like very much for you to see.
I'd like to see the program itself, or any one of them, you see.
We made 100 programs for EEN, the Eastern Educational Network, and then when the money ran out, people in Boston and Pittsburgh and Chicago all came to the fore and said, we've got to have more of this neighborhood expression of care. And this is what I give. I give an expression of care every day to each child to help him realize that he is unique. I end the program by saying, you've made this day a special day by just your being you. There's no person in the whole world like you, and I like you just the way you are. And I feel that if we in public television can only make it clear that feelings are mentionable and manageable, we will have done a great service for mental health. I think that it's much more dramatic that two men could be working out their feelings of anger, much more dramatic than showing something of gunfire. I'm constantly concerned about what our children are seeing. And for 15 years, I have tried in this country and Canada to present what I feel is a meaningful expression of care.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes, and I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the scripts.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
This has to do with that good feeling of control, which I feel that children need to know is there. And it starts out, what do you do with the mad that you feel? And that first line came straight from a child. I work with children, doing puppets in very personal communication with small groups. What do you do with the mad that you feel? When you feel so mad you could bite. When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. What do you do? Do you punch a bag? Do you pound some clay or some dough? Do you round up friends for a game of tag or see how fast you go? It's great to be able to stop when you've planned a thing that's wrong and be able to do something else instead and think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, stop, stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
Thank you very much. For close to 20 years, millions of television viewers have been visiting Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. His calm, cool, and flappable demeanor is now legendary. Take a look at this piece of videotape.
See that? Looks a little like a teepee, doesn't it? Of course, a teepee is a real home for some people. Yeah. Works. This is pulling out right there. It is. Helps to have two people to put these out. Let me try it once more.
Please welcome Fred Rogers. Thank you. This is for me?
Yeah.
It's very nice of you. This is a Mr. Rogers t-shirt.
There's the trolley.
Very nice. Thank you.
Here's a sweater, and here's some shoes.
Okay. Did you bring some for everyone?
Yes.
Now, that sort of thing, I was surprised to see that that ever happens. Much of that go on behind the scenes on your show? Goof-ups?
Sometimes things don't go right in the neighborhood. But I did get that thing up.
Uh-huh. Oh, good, good.
Yeah. You can see that someday.
But often things, or not often, but occasionally things get a little goofy. Yeah.
Yes, in that next program that they're going to show on that blooper business, there's a chimpanzee that gets out of hand.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What was, you have provided hours and hours of entertainment and education for young people. What was your own childhood like, your early years like?
I was an only child until my sister came when I was 11 years old. And I had to make up a lot of my own play, my own friends. And so I would dip into my bag of puppets and make them talk. King Friday the 13th, you know, speaks like this.
And Lady Elaine Fairchild would be glad to be here.
Did this bother Mom and Dad? I mean, you know.
That I would speak to myself?
Yeah, you were sitting in the room, maybe talking to yourself. But,
happily, it didn't.
What is, then you got into television early, didn't you? After...
30 years ago, I came right here to NBC and was a floor manager right in these studios. I remember the Horn and Hard Art Children's Hour in this studio. It was terrible. People would bring their little children and make them perform. Do you remember it?
No, I don't remember that. Was it a network show or a local show? Or?
It was local.
And they would just bring kids in and let them, yeah. Any other shows that you worked on that...
Well, the Hit Parade up in 8H and the NBC Opera Theater. My degree was in music. You know, I write all the music for the program. Incidentally, Paul, we don't have enough time for that song. That's what they told me.
Told you not enough time for the song? Okay. Well, maybe you and Paul can get together after the show. And
Sure.
I mean, if you rehearsed it, no sense in wasting the song. Now, it's interesting. I believe you pointed out the irony of the fact that in this building now, where you started out your broadcasting career, there is now a show that occasionally has a performer doing an impression or an imitation of you.
That's right. I just met him a little bit ago. Do you think we could see that?
Well, certainly.
Eddie Murphy. There's Mr.
It's Mr. Rogers there in the, yeah.
On the left.
On the left, yeah. Now, how do you react to that? We talked to Andy Rooney about someone doing an impression of him, and he didn't seem too keen on it.
Well, some of them aren't very funny, but I think that that a lot of them are done with real kindness in their hearts. Do you think that? Do you think that's true? There is one person on radio that really bothers me, though. I've heard it. It's somewhere in the Mid-South, and he tells children in my voice to do such things as get their mother's hairspray and their father's cigarette lighter and put them together. And he thinks that he's talking to adults, but he's really talking with children, and I think that could cause a lot of fires.
Yeah, that would...
Well...
That's right.
You know it.
You're exactly right. It would blow up. Yeah, it would burn and be highly volatile. You have... I'm sorry you're out here so late. I would like to ask you to come back. And you have a show coming up on PBS, just briefly, if you want to mention the nature of the program.
The Week on Discipline.
And it's...
There's a parent special on discipline, and the whole week of children's programs, the first week of March on discipline. You know, discipline is caring, just like love is caring. And they're both as important as the other.
I want to thank you for being here, and I hope you'll come back when the rest of the Fred Rogers, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Next guest is celebrating his 30th anniversary. It's a long time in children's television. Isn't that wonderful? And he has a book that's been doing very well. Of course, Mr. Rogers Talks with Parents. Is it the camera? Okay. Mr. Rogers, or that, whatever. Mr. Rogers Talks with Parents. I watched my daughter grow up with him. I sang, "It's a pleasure to be in the neighborhood." All that, right? Will you please help me welcome Mr. Rogers? Now, enough with being charming. Do you get hate mail? Let's go. 30 years, isn't that wonderful? 30. How did you get into children's television?
I went to NBC right after college, and I was with programs like the Hit Parade and Kate Smith Hour and the NBC Opera Theater. And I really learned the business from the other side of the camera.
And what happened? It's so funny he's talking to me, and I just feel like, say 8 years old, I'm going to go, that's right. It's just wonderful. I'm so thrilled to have you here. And how did you get into children's television?
Well, it was because the public television station was beginning in Pittsburgh, and I thought that I wanted to help do children's programming, so I went there.
And you've never left 30 years.
I wonder how many people here grew up with the neighborhood.
We all did. That's Melissa. My child was very lucky because she grew up with Sesame Street. She was the Sesame Street generation, and you started Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood right at the same time. Wasn't that about?
A little before.
A little before, and she got it all. She was so lucky. Well, it wasn't in New York before, was it?
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't watching it then because I was in my late 20s, no offense. But, why do you always take off your jacket and put on your sweater? Did you do that at home?
Well, I did, yeah. And you know, my mother made all these sweaters.
Aren't they wonderful? Your mother makes them for you all the time?
Well, she died a couple years ago, but every year she gave 12 of us a sweater at Christmas time.
That's wonderful, in a way.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's very boring because you knew what you were getting. But no, you know, but it's wonderful. I mean,
she was always working on one.
You didn't go, what's in here? But they're beautiful. I will give it back to you. I thought it was too good for the prop department. So do you, at home now, your children then grew up with you. You're married?
Yes. We have 2 boys. One is 22, and the other will be 24.
How did they feel first watching you as Mr. Rogers and then getting older and realizing that Mr. Rogers can also be daddy and be strict?
Well, at first, you know, they used to say other daddy when they'd watch the television. In fact, it's very strange for young people to see me in the flesh. In fact, I wonder if maybe that's why some people are laughing. When they, because they're so used to seeing me about this big.
It's just, like for me, I'm so, it's like talking to a teacher. You know, I mean, like I can't say, you know, have you ever fooled around? I mean, there's certain things. We'll do this commercial, we're right back. I mean, you can't say that to me. Talking with Fred Rogers and Mr. Rogers. Now, I know you have a degree in theology and a degree in child psychology.
Well, I've worked in the field of child development for a long time, and we're very serious about the work that we do, and that's why I feel that Mr. Rogers Talks with Parents, that new book of ours, is going to be helpful in that the people who read it will know that we're not just babysitters. But
you're not just a babysitter. There's always a whole philosophy behind what you do, isn't there, on your show?
Absolutely.
Much more than just like comics and, you know.
Well, there are a lot of people who think that all you have to do is to get a whole lot of cartoons and string them together, and that's your children's program. Well, that is not a children's program. Children are to be respected, and I respect them deeply. They've taught me an awful lot. A little boy today said...
Lovely.
A little boy today said, "Is there watermelon ice cream?" And he said, "All I heard was strawberry ice cream. I wondered if there was any other kind of fruit ice creams." And I just thought that was wonderful. I learned so much.
How old was the boy?
Tell me.
4, it's wonderful. 18, you think.
But King Friday gives you history.
Oh, please.
This is King Friday the 13th. It came to
Isn't that great?
Yes, how do you do, Miss Rivers?
A pleasure.
How do you do, everyone? Very pleased to see you. Do you know that little ditty, rowing your boat down the stream? Do you know that?
I know that very well.
Oh, would you sing it for me, please? All of you. Would you, please?
Will you sing it? Jacqueline? Row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Very good. Now, the way we learned that at the Kingley School was propel, propel, propel your craft gently down liquid solution. Ecstatically, 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 existence is but an illusion. Thank you very much.
own songs, don't you? Everything?
I write the songs, and John Costa is our musical director who plays them so well.
Do the song, the one that Melissa likes, I Like You.
Oh, good.
I remember that from when she was growing
Well, I'll
up.
sing that to you and
No,
everybody
don't you
else here.
make me die.
It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you are right now. The way down deep inside you. Not the things that hide you. Not your jokes. They're just beside you. But it's you I like. Every part of you. Your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you, it's you I like.
Has anybody else ever tried to record that? Some of your songs, that would be a great song for something like a Sinatra. Has anyone else ever tried to record your songs?
They're welcome to do it.
Yeah, because wouldn't that be a good song for somebody else? Not that you don't sing well. But, I mean, you have charm, but, you know, that's... I mean...
The rest.
What?
And we need the rest.
And we need... No, but it'd be nice because that could be like a pop song, you know.
Well,
What do you plan to do? You've written one book now. Do you ever go out and lectures?
Sometimes.
And talk seriously about... You were saying that children are frightened of things that adults don't realize they're frightened of, such as...
Things like haircuts, possibility of going down the bathtub drain.
Oh, yes.
You remember that with Melissa?
Yeah, I still am. But that's... Isn't that funny? They're all frightened of the same things.
But there's so much more to each one of us than meets anybody's eye.
Oh, I'm so glad you came on. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Please welcome Jeffrey Erlinger.
It is quite hard. I'm so glad to see you. Oh, thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Oh, it is, what a surprise.
It's an honor to be here tonight, to be part of your this proud moment. You know, when you tell people that it's you I like, we know that you really mean it. And tonight, I want to let you know that on behalf of millions of children and grown-ups, it is you that I like.
Me as I say my few words?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, to Jeff Erlinger and all of the wonderful neighbors who have grown up with our neighborhood, this was, of course, completely unexpected, and what a wonderful gift, and I thank the Academy for allowing this to happen. Jeff and I haven't been together for a while. We met when he was, I think, 4 years old. 5. Such good neighbors. Well, this is what I wanted to tell you before I knew that I'd have this great gift tonight. Fame is a 4-letter word. And like tape or Zoom or face or pain or life or love, What ultimately matters is what we do with it. I feel that those of us in television are chosen to be servants. It doesn't matter what our particular job. We are chosen to help meet the deeper needs of those who watch and listen, day and night. The conductor of the orchestra at the Hollywood Bowl grew up in a family that had little interest in music, but he often tells people he found his early inspiration from the fine musicians on television. Last month, a 13-year-old boy abducted an 8-year-old girl, and when people ask him why, he said he learned about it on TV. Something different to try, he said. Life's cheap. What does it matter? Well, life isn't cheap. It's the greatest mystery of any millennium, and television needs to do all it can to broadcast that, to show and tell what the good in life is all about. But how do we make goodness attractive? By doing whatever we can to bring courage to those whose lives move near our own, by treating our neighbor at least as well as we treat ourselves, and allowing that to inform everything that we produce. Who in your life has been such a servant to you? Who has helped you love the good that grows within you? Let's just take 10 seconds to think of some of those people who have loved us and wanted what was best for us in life. Those who have encouraged us to become who we are tonight. Just 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. No matter where they are, either here or in heaven, imagine how pleased those people must be to know that you thought of them right now. We all have only one life to live on earth, and through television, we have the choice of encouraging others to demean this life or to cherish it in creative, imaginative ways. On behalf of all of us at Family Communications and the Public Broadcasting Service, I thank you for all the good that you do in this unique enterprise and for wanting our neighborhood to be a part of this celebration tonight. Thank you very much.